take a rabbit here. Yeah, continuing down the line of improving my Amiga 2000 motherboard. Let's take a look. So, taking the motherboard out again, and those that have been following the channel, I've made several improvements to this and it's got better over time, but now I identified one more problem, and that has to do with the this socket. So sometimes when I'm trying to start it, then you just get flickering and all manner of colored error code screens, and if I knock at this, or if I push it on the sides, or actually put some kind of mechanical persuasion on this chip, then usually it goes back to normal and starts, and then it'll work for an undetermined amount of time, quite stable, and then it will crash. So I think what I'm going to do is that this, I've tried all the normal tricks. I've tried to clean it, contact cleaner, all the pull the pins out of it, all the normal stuff, and nothing really has helped. Plus, I don't think it's the actual chip. I think the chip's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the socket. So this is, you can still get these. These are brand new. So those are available from the market, and then I'm just going to swap that out. Anyway, the first recommended thing to do is to actually remove the chip, because if one's going to start doing soldering and stuff, then one doesn't want to overheat it. Then it's recommended to use the proper tool to remove it. So as you see, this has hooks that you can hook around the chip to bring it out easier. Just lift it out, and then also you protect this. If you use a screwdriver or something, then you're liable to damage the actual socket. But of course, in this case, since I'm removing it, it doesn't matter. But in general, this tool is much better to use than a screwdriver. So the first thing to do is to actually get some solder on these. That actually has some flux included, and that's to be able to reflow the solder of the really old, and possibly in this case it can be a little bit corroded solder, to get it melted and flowing. So I'll take my trusted soldering iron and go around and put some solder on those. So that's the solder now added tool, or the flux solder added tool. All the pins, and now next job is to desolder it. So now to use the desoldering pump to take the solder away. Oh, I have to go do it all around. So that's all the main solder removed. So now I'm going to go around with these tools and see if I can free up most of the pins at least. So got it removed. So anyway, the method I used was that once we've removed most of the solder with this from the holes, and I went around with this tool and I tried to move the pin, and if the pin wasn't free, and wasn't moving, then it was stuck. So then I used this again, and then in a few cases I actually added more solder and used the pump again, and then again confirmed with the tool that the pin is free, and then I went around and I did all that. And you can actually push at the socket through these two holes here. So I actually used another variant of the tool to like come round the corner and then push at the socket. So, but there were two holes. Let's see if I can find them again. Yeah. That needed to be heated while I was taking the socket out, and that's that one there. And then there's another one there that needed to be, and I think they're connected to the ground strip, so that's why we're a bit more sticky. But when I heated those up and then alternatively pushed at pulled at the socket lightly, not sort of violently, then I was able to actually get it to come out. So I'm just going to clean up the two holes. I could probably do it from use the pump from the other side and get those free, and then I'm going to clean this up, and usually I just use contact cleaner. This is generic, whatever, you can use whatever electronic contact cleaner you want, and then just some paper, and then I use this fiberglass pen, and that usually helps to. Oh, I hope I have some left. I think my contact cleaner is finished. I thought it was getting really empty. Oh well, use some alcohol instead. Trick. So I'll do the same trick on the other side, and then what I usually do is I take a vacuum cleaner and just vacuum over the whole board, just to make sure there isn't any solder splatter or solder remnants. So let's turn it around. Usually this side is pretty clean. Well, one should clean it because it has all the dirt I couldn't get access to when I was otherwise cleaning the board. If you have been watching, oh look, that pin broke off. So the pin is actually still in the socket, in the hole. I don't know if that's the same case here. It's a bit strange. Or it's a corroded pin. But that's why it didn't come out. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of the video, I've been having issues with this socket, so it wouldn't it wouldn't surprise me that there would be corroded pins that are now broke it off. So that's what they usually do. They break off when you try and remove. Anyway, I'll get those holes cleaned up and then move on. So here I've laid out, this is the chip, and that's the marker at the end where it's cut off, and then you have like the pin 1 is here. And this old socket has actually a pin 1 marker here on the side of the socket, and then it has the cutout in the corner. where the corner is like, oh, what do you want to do this? Not cut out, but it's got that slanting form to mark the one of the corners, so to separate it from the other corners. And then this one only has the slanted corner. So this is the way around it should be. And this socket hasn't got a pin number 1 marker. So that's the new socket in, and then I just have to do a bit of fiddling to fasten it in place so it doesn't drop out when I solder it from the other side. So to hold the socket down, then usually what I do is I use the 2 holes through the board to put a tie in place. So then when I turn the board upside down, then the socket won't slip out. So that's the soldering done, and then I cleaned it up a bit as best I could. I ran out of contact cleaner, which wasn't so great, but tried my best. And now we're going to put the chip in. Need to make sure it lands inside the plastic area, and then press it down. That's a lot more positive content. So now we're in the testing corner. So I put the motherboard in with 2 screws, and then I have the power supply. The drives are not connected. I'm using an ATX. In a previous video I switched to using an ATX power supply, which is not screwed on right now. And then I have the display and audio connected. And I'm just going to put this extra light on, and hopefully it won't blind the camera, because I need to actually see the chips underneath there. See if we get any smoke. So and then I have a separate power on button. There's a switch on the ATX power supply, but then there's a separate power on button in the back here, and I'm going to use that. So the monitor should be on. So let's see what happens. Where's the monitor on? Maybe it's not on. Let's see. Yeah, now it's. No smoke, at least. It's on the wrong channel. Oh, I hope this is working, because how did one change the channel? Whoa! Well, that's good. My wife, she said we needed to go shopping, so that was the end of that test. But hey, we at least got to the boot screen once, so I think I can do without the light now. It doesn't seem to be any smoke coming out. So let's try it again. See if it starts. So far. And since there's no drives connected, this picture will take a while to come up. But that's the second time. Let it shut down properly. Try again. So, I had an unofficial statistic that if you took this machine and you started it like 3 times in a row, then at least one of the boot sequences would fail and it just flashing colors and doing weird stuff. And then I had to start messing with the chip to get it started. But now that's 3 times in a row without having, without it failing. So I'll get the disk drives set up and then we'll see if it boots. So now I've got the disk drives connected. I had to try and find the boot USB I was using. Stored it in the wrong place, but now it's like cold, so let's see what it does now. Oh, looking good. Not bad. So that means that it's. Let's see if it actually makes it to the workbench. Need a mouse. Let's see. Should have plugged in this before. That one. The thing is, it probably doesn't recognize the mouse if it wasn't in there from the beginning. So we're probably going to have to reboot it. But that's part of the testing, so now I'm going to turn it off and restart it, and so that we get the mouse running. So got it. Had the mouse in the wrong port. This is Amiga dedicated ports for. So supposed to be in the second port. Anyway, the original clunky mouse working. Goldtech seems to be booting okay. Workbench. Click around just to see if things work. My favorite clock test. Okay, so that's rebooted from cold start several times without the disk drives. It's booted now twice with the disk drives installed. It seems to boot from the Goldtech drive. That's been done twice. Mouse seems to still work. I'm going to do other testing, but offline, of course, using it and stuff. But now I have to actually screw it all back together again. And that I have in my previous video, how it was put together and everything. So I'll do that offline. But I think we can tentatively call this a success. Of course, time will show. Because of course I want to also do some more long-term testing to see if it stays stable over time. As stable as an Amiga can be. it's not this age of technology is not guaranteed. And then with the cover off, just like I noticed in previous iterations of working with this, that it can get disturbed by Wi-Fi and cell phones and other things, because this is 35-year-old tech, so it's without any shielding on it, it's likely to die just because of the environment I have here, the electronic environment. So the only reliable way to do it is to actually, like I said, I'm going to screw it all together, put the cover on, and then run it with everything closed. But I say this is at least I didn't break it, so that's nice. And see you in the next one. So just thought I'd take a final shot. I got it all screwed back together again, and it still works.